Hi, I'm Mariska Hargitay, and I can't tell you how honored I am to be speaking to all of you at this year's NCWP conference. I'd like to start by thanking Maggie Moore for her tremendous leadership, and of course all of our hosts, Superintendent Harry Corbett of the New York State Police, Commissioner Denise O'Donnell from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice, and Saratoga Police Chief Edward Moore. And Lieutenant Colonel Deborah Campbell, from all that I've heard, I want to be you. Is that weird? Needless to say, I'm very much looking forward to meeting you. I hear you're quite the badass. I wish that I could be there in person, and not just because I'd rather be in Saratoga Springs than here in our studio in North Bergen, New Jersey, but I'd like to be there because I have such profound respect for what you do. And I find being around you more inspiring than you know. You play such an important role in the lives of the people that you serve. I'm going to say more about that later, but first I'd like to give a shout out to Detective Tanya Cawley. She's the SVU detective who showed me the ropes when I first got this job. She's the first of a long list of individuals who continue to demonstrate what it looks like when a woman in law enforcement excels in her work. I started on Law & Order 11 years ago, and as I'm sure you know, time flies when you're busting perps. I love my job. It's a privilege to do what I do, and I find my work deeply fulfilling. It's also incredibly exhausting, and I'm not talking about the hours. I'm talking about the subject matter that we deal with every day on the show. When I started on the show, crime had never played any significant role in my life, certainly not on a daily basis, and certainly not the kinds of issues that SVU addresses. And then there I was on a show, immersed every day in some of the worst that people can do to each other. But it wasn't only the scripts that pressed the tragedy and the pervasiveness of these acts into my consciousness. It was the letters I was getting. I had done other work on TV before SVU, and I'd gotten letters that said, "Hi, my name is Emily. I'm 16 years old. I love your show. Can you send me an autographed picture?" Now I was getting, "Hi, my name is Emily. I'm 16 years old. My father has been raping me since I was 12, and I've never told anyone." I remember my breath going out of me when the first letter came, and I've gotten thousands like it since. I responded to being confronted with this subject matter by starting the Joyful Heart Foundation in 2004. Our mission is to heal, educate, and empower survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse, and to shed light into the darkness that surrounds these issues. I have seen survivors find their way back to lives of possibility, hope, and joy, and I am so proud to be part of a movement that will change the way we talk about and behave around these epidemics. One of the most important aspects of what Joyful Heart does is work with professionals working in the field of trauma. I said before that my being an actor on the show is exhausting, but I have to tell you, I have no idea how you do what you do. We talk about that sometimes, what it would be like if this was real. Not necessarily in the Special Victims Unit, but just to be involved in some aspect of law enforcement. And I'm telling you, I don't know if I could do it. In fact, I'm sure I couldn't. I was talking to a detective in Queens a few months ago, and of course, first we had to throw down as to who was whose hero. She'd been a detective for 8 years, and I, of course, just finished my 10th. And she was telling me about some of the cases that she'd worked on. And let me tell you, she has seen stuff that no one should ever see. It was stuff that no one should ever have to think about, much less spend weeks and months mulling over in your brain and trying to crack a case. So I asked her what she did to take care of herself, so she could unload at least some of what she had to deal with every day. And she basically looked at me like I was from another planet. And then she turned to me and she said, "If anybody knew how I really feel inside, I would lose my job." So it's people like her that make me so excited about Joyful Heart's Heal the Healers program. I think maybe in your case it should be called Heal the Heroes, because that's what you are. You encounter human beings when they are at their most vulnerable. And it's situations like these, and in the entire spectrum of what you have to deal with on any given day, that your dedication, your expertise, your compassion, and your humanity are so remarkable. Joyful Hearts Heal the Healer's work aims to support you in serving in such a profound way on an ongoing basis. It's now my great pleasure and honor to introduce Laura Vandernoot-Lipsky, the author of Trauma Stewardship and a true pioneer in the field of caring for those who care, for those in need. Have a great conference and save me a seat next year.